Yeah.
We're going in first order.
No.
They toast your mom and dad
On their 50th wedding anniversary.
part that says Joe.
Yeah.
Today we celebrate their 50 years together, knowing our parents' love will endure forever. They launched their marriage with hopes and dreams, and together they made a fabulous team. They moved out east and had 2 girls and a boy. The boy was first. Those hectic early years were filled with joy.
They bloomed where they were planted and made sure to volunteer, supporting their community and operating at high gear. They got to travel to some really cool places, but Michigan was always their favorite oasis. From sports to horses to scouting and higher education, helping us succeed was their favorite vocation.
They nurtured our love of science, books, and art, and taught us to lead with our head and our heart. These later years allow them a chance to kick back, and a gaggle of grandkids means there's nothing they lack. Your beloved friends and family gather today all around to mark your 50 years of your life, and love profound. Sent by Kathleen's sister Molly Reno. She wanted us to read this to you today. I wish I could be there in person to celebrate your 50 years together. Alas, it is not possible, so I've put down a few thoughts on your 50-year partnership. As a younger sister and sometimes pesky sister-in-law, I've witnessed your years together from a special perch. Carrie and I had the privilege of sharing a week each summer in your home as the invitational rolled around, which was a golf tournament, which meant all the kids had to leave the area. The following random list of places and events fall out of my Rolodex as I look back over your union of 50 years. Your first house on Church Road. Tom getting our old boat in shape and put in the water, only to be transferred to Parsippany, New Jersey. Your Parsippany apartment. 22 Drake Lane and wading pool. Finding out that Kathleen did not think pulling a nylon over our faces to scare Joe was funny. Wondering why it was funny decades earlier when Kathleen and Maddie did the same to scare Terry and me.
It was funny then.
I'll tell her. Hillcrest Drive, Fairfield, Connecticut, and daily picnics at Long Island Sound after naps. Kathleen's convertible and trips to a new kind of store out east called an outlet. Maggie naming me Daisy in a fit of panic. GM dealership parts manager, dental hygienist, Euclid Avenue in Elmira, New York. Award-winning dealership owner and Mrs. Buick. Masters in science and college teacher, Dundee Way. Douglas Boulevard, Trevelyan Way. Pilot, fiber artist, Rolls-Royce dealer, Jaguar dealer, real estate tycoon. What are you telling her?
We fooled her.
Beloved sister, beloved brother, beloved parents, grandparents extraordinaire to Jack, Clay, Molly, Thomas, Katie, Sean, entrepreneurs, coaches, role models, and cheerleaders to the next 2 generations. You two have stuck together and made your way through thick and thin, seemingly forging a partnership of equals. This could not have been easy, given you began your marriage in the Catholic Church at a time when religion and culture conferred on the husband authority to make all decisions, and an obligation on the wife to obey and derive her identity as wife. You made your way through that thicket and emerged out the other side, I salute you and pay tribute to each of you for your ability to forge a path that works for you both.
Wow. Nice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, all three. Thank you.
All right. Tim, you ready?
Yes.
This is an original song that Tim wrote for the occasion.
A gift from a sibling.
So, what I want you to know before I start playing this is I had some help and got some wonderful information. As I mentioned earlier, I've known this family since the mid-'80s. But to hear stories then and get background all the way back to the beginning was really a treat for me. And I don't know about you folks, but even on days when things are really slow, life still goes really, really fast. So as I was making choices about how to edit the song, the choice was not to. It's all here. And it's about twice as long as your normal song. So that's what I wanted to prepare you for. Tim, who can't cut a single word. In many a story and many a song, and in dusty old volumes bound, it is often that upon an island, romance, adventure, and treasure are found. And so too Tom and Kathleen, whose many adventures adroit began just over a half century ago on an island just south of Detroit. He grew up on the water, she was on the golf course. Their combined creativity would one day become a force. Tom was handsome and hardworking, Kathleen poised with appeal. Both from Catholic families, living large on Groseal, enamored with family, guided by their stars. They could be seen on the island, cruising around in Tom's jazzy car. Shortly after getting hitched in the chapel of St. Anne, their lives and upward mobility and trailblazing truly began. They left the comfort of home for a ride that was topsy-turvy, moving themselves to Parsippany to start a new life in New Jersey. Tom was GM at work, Kathleen GM at home. They learned how to make a life, now living out on their own. Joe came in '64, Patty in '66. They moved to Fairfield, Connecticut, and Maggie followed up quick. While the family was growing and filling up their heart, they never stopped knowing how to remain apart. Still living back in their Michigan home. They packed the kiddos in the wagon and all night they drove. So the kids stayed connected with all their folk and kin. And those lessons in love were tucked away for the day when they would have families to begin. 8 years in Elmira, what a magical time. That grand old Victorian, providing memories of life. Tom and Kathleen every day would choose to teach lessons on friendship, just like with their neighbors, the crews. Music in the house, kids learning all that stuff in school. Kathleen always guiding them to write and try to follow their own rules. When the opportunity came, they chose with care to move to Louisville in '80. Paul and Maddie air blowing, cruising in their convertible. Tom and Kathleen made one whole from two halves, holding unfailing course, so the kids can find their own path. And though the fix was in, 'cause none of them are fools, they babbled their way through Scrabble as they played by their Reno rules. Until all at once, having done their very best, Tom and Kathleen found themselves living in an empty nest. How to flex, how to bend. Though the path was circuitous, even more interesting still is that of their own choosing, the kids all settled in Louisville. Who'd have guessed who's so sensible in demeanor and in their deal would all at once as grandparents be falling head over heels. First there was Jack, he was the lone rapping pilgrim, followed by Clay, Molly, and Thomas, amazing triplet grandchildren. And Sean followed them, he was bringing up the rear. And from Papa and Sugar, so much love was abundantly clear. Amazing grandkids and cousins, taking all together on trips, along with Papa and Sugar, employing their deep bag of tricks, sharing 50 years of lessons, 15 years of love, 15 years creating something special to be part of. Started out on an island, and